Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host Evan Teague. With me, like always, is Noah Bailey. So, E3 may have been canceled this year, but apparently people forgot that because there's actually a lot of new gaming stuff happening right now. Like
Yep.
with the Summer of Gaming, different people doing various game-related like videos and stuff. So like, it's not exactly like E3, but it's getting there. You know, it's has the same general vibe as this time of year should feel. So that's great.
Yeah. There's
And
nothing else. Oh, God.
we're starting off with the PS5 official reveal event. So let me just get your general thoughts of like just generally, not anything specific yet, just kind of generally what you saw, what you think about next gen as a concept right now.
I mean, it looks interesting. I think the idea of having one console for like digital and one for like actual like disc is a very interesting concept. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's something they've been trying to like force for a while. I think it's interesting because like me personally, there's no way I'm getting just digital. I gotta have the actual
No,
disc.
no.
Like I don't trust it.
Yeah,
But
especially since they are trying to compete with Microsoft in the backwards compatibility
yeah,
department, and the diskless one won't let you do that.
right.
I don't know how they'll remedy that.
Wait, is it like can you do like if you have the game digitally? Can you still like backwards through like your PSN or whatever? Is that a
My
thing?
guess is that they'll do a thing where, as long as you register a game with PSN on like an old PS4 or something, you can then transfer a save or like somehow also play it on the digital one. But that seems like too much work. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's doing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like and even if it costs more, I'm definitely gonna like I'm gonna go for the one with the actual disc because like I buy my games with disc. I'm an old fashioned or whatever, but like I don't
Yeah.
trust you know
Mm.
no and like
There,
but
there are certain games that I feel fine with getting digital, but like if it's a game I'm looking forward to and like need to play, like I'm getting a physical.
right
Something
yeah
cool about just like having physically holding a game you've wanted for so
yeah.
long. And
And like I remember that like it used to be like when they had the little pamphlets in the game too, and
mm,
those were all they don't even do that anymore, which I think
they
is
sometimes have like reversible covers, so it's something.
yeah, I guess, but still like I don't know, it was something about like like that's how you knew the game was like oh this is odd. Like I
Yeah.
remember like especially like PlayStation 2 games
Mm.
like that was all part of it, but
I
like
remember
now it's all
the
just like
Smash Bros. Brawl had like this huge thick pamphlet of like every character,
yeah
all their moves, like all the stages. It
every
was
character and
yeah,
like
that was fun.
yeah that's what I'm saying like I miss that stuff like.
Mm.
Even Mario Kart, like he didn't need it, but it was just cool to have it. Like everyone knows how to play. But yeah, I think it's okay. I still the design's still kind of okay. But again, it's like and I saw and someone said like, does it really matter what it looks like? Because like as long as it works well, I don't really care what it looks like. Which I kind of second that opinion, but at the same time,
Yeah, it doesn't. On paper, it shouldn't matter what the console looks like. I have, but I have two minor issues with how it's actually set up. First, it's very big.
yeah,
This is a very tall console.
massive.
Yeah, like early design setups or like 3D printing things make if like they took the how big the disk drive was and how big the USB ports are and kind of determine that it's going to be essentially the size of an Xbox Series X with a Switch dock on top of it. So like that is very tall. And the
Yeah.
The Xbox Series X is already going to be a pretty tall PC tower anyway.
Hmm.
So it's going to be even taller than that, like
Yeah.
significantly taller. I don't know where I'm going to put it.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, yeah, because usually I just put it like in front of my TV or whatever. Now it's gonna be like have to be distinctly on because is it does it have to be vertically?
That was
Like,
my second concern.
yeah,
They've showed
I
images
didn't
of
see.
it laying on its side, but they've only shown pictures of the one with the disc laying on its side. But it's laying on the side with the disc hump. So like the disc hump is kind of parallel to like the end of the flap.
Yeah,
So it can lay on its side, but it looks weird.
yeah. It looks I kind of get nervous if that makes
Yeah,
sense. Like looking at it, I'm like,
it looks
eh.
it looks like it could just topple over. Also, I don't know how that's gonna work with the discless one, unless there's some kind of stand specifically for putting it on its side. I don't know that.
It doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
we've
still
never
not
had
getting
a
that one though.
rectangular prism or like or relatively similar to that console before. This is
Yeah.
interesting.
I yeah, I'm not a huge fan. Like I don't, and for some reason the controller I don't like. Like I guess maybe it's just the color mix up, but I just
Mm.
don't. I like some of it's black, some of it's I don't know. Maybe if the buttons were black it would help, but like I don't know, the white buttons I'm not really feeling. Like I know that's a super nitpick, but I don't know.
I
But
I
I'm not
think
huge on.
I don't know. I like the design itself as a thing. It looks cool aesthetically, especially the slim the
Yeah,
discless one. It looks very sleek, very futuristic, and like if you just had that in your house, like it would just look cool as a piece of furniture. That looks
yeah,
cool. Even the one with the disc slot, like it still looks a little, I don't know, that weird like lump on the side, but it's why not just put the disc just just on the middle part? I don't know.
I mean,
Where are they going with that? I
I don't
anyway.
know.
Sorry. I like it,
I don't
but
know.
the yeah the color scheme. I'm not sure how I feel about the white and black, especially on the controller. I feel like white and blue should have. Sorry, blue and black should have been like maybe, especially on the
Like their
controller,
thing,
because like their PlayStation's whole thing is being blue.
right?
I don't know.
Or even yeah, the white's too. I mean, it's too Xbox, you know. And that's never really been a. I don't know. I like because it's like that was kind of like I know Xbox or something like black also, but I don't know when I think like Xbox 360 and stuff like that. I
Yeah,
think of like how like yeah,
the
and that's
360
kind of what the
was kind of whitish. The Xbox One S was white. I mean, white does kind of signal like futuristic, which is why it looks, which is why I'm thinking that. But I don't know. It's definitely something that we're gonna have to get used to as far as the design goes.
yeah,
If they show like like a Spider-Man PS5 that's like either red or black, like or other like variant colors that are like all black or like have different designs on them, I think there's a lot of potential for the white aspects to be a different color. But I don't know. As of right now, it's a very interesting choice to say the least as far as
yeah,
design goes.
yeah. But I mean, again, if it works well, really, I mean, I'm still hyped for backwards compatibility, even though I'm not getting this at launch because
Yeah.
money.
Uh-huh.
But which I've noticed they still haven't said how much is going to. I don't
Yep.
think they have specifically not mentioned that, which I know you know this from your field, and I know this from my parent. But whenever something they don't rat out tell you how much it's going to
I
cost,
don't know
it's
yet.
probably going to be a lot.
They My guess is that they're waiting for Microsoft to say their price.
Mm.
Because Sony is in a position where they can take a loss. They've just knocked it out of the park this entire generation. They sold over 100 million PS4s. They can take a loss for the first couple of years if they need to.
Mm.
They'll still make bonkers sales on, the first party games coming out this year plus first party games coming to the PS5. Like they'll make their money back over time. But regardless of that, if they do announce it first, because I feel like Microsoft is waiting on them to announce it first. So if we get to October and neither of them have announced it,
I'm just like,
people aren't going to want to pre-order it. So people at PlayStation have come out and said that they're pricing it. They're viewing it. They're essentially what they're saying. The price will match the value of the system, whatever that means.
yeah, like what? That is the most subjective. Like that
It
tells me
should. It
nothing.
should. I guess.
That tells
You would
me.
hope you would price something as what it's worth. Like,
I guess, but like, that still doesn't tell me anything.
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm guessing 500 for the disc one, 400 for the other one.
Okay, I've heard something like that. Yeah, there was some kind of like leaks from Amazon
Yeah.
and like Europe or something, and they said it converted to like 550, like or
Mm.
550 and like 500 and something like that. Whether like if it's yeah, no, I'm not. I mean,
Because if
nah.
it's more than 500, it can be 500. I think that's a decent enough price for what's in
Yeah,
there. If it's more than 500, we might be looking at a PS3 situation again.
yeah. Oh boy.
Especially since it is on paper weaker than the Xbox Series X. Since the
Yeah.
design isn't the best. Especially if the discless one is the same price, just with like more memory or something in there to make it
Oh no!
qualify.
Oh, don't do that. Like that. That's disrespectful.
I know.
Like that.
Or maybe the discless one will be the same price, but like have I don't know, headphones or something else put in there, just
No. See,
because they showed all those accessories in the reveal trailer.
there's no way that's common standard. Like
No.
no way.
There might be
they
like
would
a deluxe edition that has the remote, the camera, the charging pack, and the
all that stuff you don't
like
need.
800. Like no, it's not.
No, I mean,
Sony headphones are expensive. Like they're not just giving those away.
no, no. I mean, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm not really sold. I'm not really sold. I'm not gonna lie, but I will say the backwards compatibility is very enticing though, because like, especially if they can like give trade-in value for a PS4 or something like that, then I'd be like, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like I don't know because I'm still skeptical of this backwards compatibility. Like I'm hearing them, but I am still kind of like I don't know because this has been a long time since we've had anything like this. It's been almost
Yeah.
20 years.
They've
So like,
been a little iffy on their wording regarding what exactly will be backwards
right?
compatible.
See,
Like the best 100 games of the PS4, or like the best, like select best games, or like the best selling. Like their verbiage changes every single time, and it's like just give a list. We don't care. Just give a
right?
list.
Yeah, like
Microsoft is over there, like yeah, all your Xbox One games will work. Like just do it.
yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, why can't you just be like straight? Just be straight up. Like, if it's only a certain amount of games, just tell me which one. Like, don't be like, well, it could be this, it could be. Just be like, no, just
Yeah.
and like, yeah, like a select few game. Like, I just want to know because like that's gonna be a big decision. If a lot of my games can be are gonna work still, then yeah, I'll go for it. But if like most of my games aren't gonna work, I'm gonna be like, well, maybe I'll wait.
Especially since in this launch year, we're getting both Last of Us 2, which it releases tomorrow as of recording this video, and Ghost of Tsushima, which is launching next month.
I forgot about that.
If
yeah.
those games aren't backwards compatible and they get another, PS5 port, like boosted graphics port thing like the PS4 did, that would be a little bit of a slap in the face. So like they need to go ahead and say you can play The Last of Us Part 2 on the PS5. At least that.
Right? Yeah. I mean, this thing is coming out this year. Like this isn't like this is coming out, and I mean we're already halfway through this year. Like it's what is it? 5 months from now?
In November
6?
at some point, yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah, we're not that far away. Less than 6 months away. So like, probably right around that Black Friday time is going to be insane. But like, yeah, we need to know more details than just, like at least the pricing. Good, like and see when you got secrets like this, it worries me. It worries me. Like something's going on that you're not telling us.
Because this PS5 presentation was honestly pretty good. We'll get into the games in just a second, but overall it was pretty good. I have a strong feeling they didn't show the price here because they were afraid it would kind of detract from the quality or like the perceived quality of the presentation. If it was 500 or higher, people would only be talking about that and not these other games they announced. Like it was smart, but at the same time, it's still a little concerning.
Yeah, and like yeah, and I get it from like a business standpoint. You don't want to ruin all, you're making all these games, and then oh by the way, this is going to be really expensive. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, don't just not tell us. We gotta know, man. Like this is
Yeah.
important stuff. I don't know,
But
but
what's arguably more important than the price and what it looks like are the games.
yes.
And they started this presentation about brand new PS5 games with GTA 5.
Totally brand new, never before seen
Like,
at all, ever.
I. So they started with a montage of PS4 games, which is fine. Like, look at what we did in the past. This is all great. So, like, be looking
Hmm.
forward to the future. And at the end of that montage was GTA 5. And then the GTA 5 part just kind of kept going. And then it kept going. And then it kept going. And then it's like, GTA 5 is also coming to PlayStation 5. And I'm like, but first of all, that's not a new game. Second of all, you're only showing PS4 footage. So what's the incentive of getting it on PS5 if you're not willing to show the PS5 footage? Three, isn't the system backwards compatible? So, like, will this game not be backwards compatible? So we have to buy it on PS5. This is
Oh, that
weird.
would be so messed up.
It, it's
See,
just weird. Like, this is literally I think this is the only game that is released on three different generations because it was a
right?
PS3 game first, and then it
Yeah.
was ported for
This
now
game's been
5,
out for like how long has this game been out? Like 10 years?
7 years. I think
Like
7 years.
7 years?
Mm-hmm. Came out
This
at the
is what I'm
tail end of the
talking about.
PS3 in 2013, and then it's gonna
See,
come
this
next
is,
year to
and
the
like,
PS5.
and don't get me wrong, GTA 5 is a great game, but like, it's time to move. Like, can we just go to GTA 6? Like, you know?
But
I
the
don't know.
problem is with GTA 5, they have no reason, they have no incentive to go to 6 yet because GTA 5 still consistently sells in the top 5 in any given month. It's insane.
That is kind of
And
crazy.
online makes them just bonkers amounts of money. So why not just port the best-selling game of ever to the next system? Like people are
Yeah,
gonna
I mean,
buy it
if it ain't
anyway. Might as
broke,
well just make your put your branding on it.
yeah, yeah, if it ain't broke, but I mean, man, they're just milking this thing. Like, which, I mean, yeah, I get it, but man, like,
Yeah, I get why GTA 5 is coming, but why is that the
when you
first game
start,
shown at a
yeah,
PS5 press conference? We're here to see PS5 games, and the first thing is like, PS, we're great to continue
PS3 game.
our partnership with Rockstar. Now from here on, we'll show you new PS5 games. Like that's so weird. It was so
Yeah.
awkward. Like literally, me and my roommate were looking at this. Like, are you watching the right stream? Like, did this?
Is this from a few years back?
Yeah, is this PS4 reveal? Like, I don't know. So after GTA 5, they finally started talking about actual PS5 games. And the first game they showed, Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Mm.
It looks good. It looks
Man,
good.
like, it's like any thought, just no. But no, I think it's interesting that I read about that, and apparently it's going to be it's its own thing. It's not a
Mm,
sequel game. It's a kind of a standalone thing, which I'm fine with. I'm interested how they'll do it because it looks very similar
mm-hmm.
in terms of like how things go around. Which we only saw about what like a minute and a half, but
Yeah.
still it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, like it looks really interesting, and like I like how the costume looks good. Like everything looks really good, and
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of see the PS5 engine kind of on display actually this
Even though
time.
Miles
So
himself looks a lot better.
yeah, yeah,
It So it is a little interesting that they didn't come right out and say it's a brand new game because at first
yeah.
it kind of sounded like it was an expansion, kind of like the Black Cat or Silver Sable
Mm-hmm.
expansion to the first game, just like tied in with PS5, and only the PS5 version of Spider-Man will get it. But it is its own thing, and it's kind of like a Uncharted Lost Legacy, where it's like its
Yeah.
own 10, 20-hour experience, like if even. Actually, those games are pretty short, but I think that game was like $40. if this game is also $40 and it's like just 5-10 hours, I think
that'd be fine.
Fine.
Like a shorter game, less right, and it's definitely something to like just get kind of just to get the PS5 going. I think it's because they don't want to rush the Spider-Man sequel.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a game like this could very much help get the PS5 on the map. Because I mean, if this is especially available at launch, like people are gonna want this game.
Also, it kind of gives Insomniac the freedom, like they can make this kind of shorter expansion pretty quickly with using new assets, just new and like still New York, but it's now a snowy New York, so it's at least a visually new environment. But also, since they're telling the Miles Morales story in this game, they don't have to waste time in the sequel, setting that up. They can just.
That's true. Yeah.
It's been a year later. He's already Miles. Just go. Like that's.
Yeah, he's just already his own thing, and I'm telling, like I said, that co-op man, bro, like that's gonna be sick, So just getting ready now. But yeah, I really like this idea, and like you said, a snowy New York, something interesting because that is one thing about like the Spider-Man. He kind of feels more like summery, which is fine. I mean, I think that's like ideal New York when you think of Spider-Man anyway. Mm-hmm. But it is interesting to see kind of like a different environment. And like New York, especially New York, is like it gets really snowy up there. It's going to be interesting. Like and like new animations, footprints in the snow, stuff like that. It's going to be interesting to see.
Oh yeah. And also, them making a shorter game will also kind of allow Insomniac to work on multiple projects at once, like Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart, which also looks very good.
Yes, I was really kind of surprised, but also really excited because Ratchet and Clank, it's been how long?
I think they had the reboot / movie tie-in game back in 2016.
Yeah, something like so. 5 years, something like that. Well, I guess 4 years, but
5,
what I mean.
When the game comes out next year.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a series. Me and my brother played a lot of growing up, so I like seeing that come back. It looks really good. I'm interested to see and even the premise. They get separated, which is kind of like, oh, all right, guess we're going this. It's kind of and again, didn't see a lot, but saw enough to be definitely interested.
Yeah.
That really got me going.
Out of all of the games shown at this event, there were some games that looked spectacular visually, but I think this is the one game that really showcased what the PS5 can and will do.
Mm-hmm.
If what this trailer showed is actually gameplay, I kind of doubt it, but if you can actually do that stuff in the game, being able to literally jump from different dimensions on a dime,
that does sound awesome.
Yeah, that's really showcasing what exactly the PS5 can do, and if Xbox doesn't show something to that extent, then that just kind of shows.
Yeah.
Might not be as powerful, but that solid state drive and the other stuff in there is actually putting in work to make it technically competitive. That's cool.
Did you see something like that? A press of a button to literally change worlds. Did you see something like that?
No, but. I legitimately believe that what we saw in that trailer, or at least the cinematic trailer, when they announced it, I think that was just here's a representation of the different games the different levels he can go into. But with a general, this is kind of representative of what the game will be about. He will go all these different levels, and portals will be involved, but I don't think he'll actually be able to jump through them on a dime.
No. Although, if they did, though,
it would be awesome.
That alone would make the game the best game of the year. Honestly.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm gonna again. This is the first we're seeing of it, which is almost always non-real gameplay. So.
In engine, but it's not.
Yeah. Okay.
That basically means this cinematic this. If it ever just says in engine, that means essentially a glorified cutscene. It's not.
Yeah, basically.
Actual gameplay.
And it's probably the best cutscene too. Oh god, we get the most. Yeah, but I mean, hey, it still looks pretty awesome. So they got me there.
The Also, just like Ratchet and Clank themselves look amazing.
Yeah,
Like,
especially Ratchet.
yeah, if you see side by sides between the 2016 one and this one, like they just, yeah, both of them look just great. Like
Yeah,
almost like a Pixar movie. It's fantastic.
yeah, actually, yeah, that's kind of the vibe I got from it. Kind of like, especially with like the colors, and they're kind of in that like foresty jungle environment
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Like, especially because like Ratchet looks like you can like see kind of like the texture of like bird stuff, which is actually that's a really big step. And like he's kind of like Pixar-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how you can tell they're really, they're really getting that cutting edge of these games now, which I'm loving. I'm gonna say.
Mm.
Ah, it's getting to the point where like you can't even tell what's real and what's not anymore. Beautiful.
So we're not going to go over every single game announced. I think that's doing too much. But I will go over the ones that I personally felt were important. If there's any that I missed, you can chime in. Demon Souls Remaster. Just want to throw that out there. It's a game that people have been wanting ever since 2009. I think is when the first one came out. Either 9 or 11. It's essentially like the predecessor to the Dark Souls series.
Yeah.
But it was like it had a heavy online component, and those servers went offline a couple of years ago. So people have really wanted a remaster of it so they can keep playing. And this remaster looks really good. Like, again, side-by-side comparisons of the first one, just like it, yeah. It doesn't necessarily look like something that couldn't be on PS4, but it still looks really good.
Right. And I think that's a big part of it. As long as it's got like that definitely like noticeable difference from its last invitation, like that's the big part.
We saw more about Deathloop, a game that was shown at Bethesda E3 last year, and we kind of got a better idea of what exactly this game is, because before we only knew that there's these two characters, and they keep dying over and over and over again. Which, okay, look, there was like 2 or 3 different games in this press conference that the concept is they die over and over again. And I'm like, that's what games are? I don't know. That seems kind of quaint considering video games are kind of that's how games work. You respawn.
Yeah, I guess they're really trying to push the whole like them specifically, and like I think it's also them being aware of it. I think that's the big thing.
But at Bethesda's conference last year, you knew it was a shooter type game, but you couldn't. They didn't really make it clear if it was like an arena shooter, if it was a battle royale, if it was a single player, multiplayer, whatever. And we're still not entirely sure, but you got a better idea of it being like you're playing as this main guy, and like, when you die, you respawn, and all the enemies that you killed respawn. Which again isn't super unique, but what is very unique is the goal of this game is to kill these, I think it's like 10 different assassins or other people. You're tasked with killing these other people within a certain amount of time before you die. And I think that is a very interesting concept. And then if any of them kill you, you have to restart from the beginning and try again. I think that
does sound really and like being forced to like plan out, okay, what's going to take the least amount of time? Do I kill this person versus that person? Well, if I kill that person, this will happen, so I have to make sure to do this in that order. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm. And then the lady from the original trailer, it's specifically like an assassin. I don't know if you need to kill her, but she is an assassin that's actively trying to kill you. Awesome. It would be cool if either that could be like a multiplayer or like an online invasion type thing. Like Dark Souls has a thing where sometimes as you're playing, other players can come into your world and straight up kill you just because, to make the game harder, because why not? So if another player could come into your game as her and then mess with you, I think that could be
That'd be insane, yeah. Or like they have to kill you in this amount of time. You have to avoid them while killing the other people. I'm like, dude, that is intense. Yeah. Like race against the clock assassin style. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So yeah, like I went from not knowing anything about this game to having a lot of ideas and actually think it's a pretty cool game.
Sounds pretty awesome.
Yep. Maybe the biggest announcement from from this was Resident Evil Village, or 8, but VII Village. Yeah. So the past like 4 different times Capcom has announced a new Resident Evil game, both for 7, 2 remake, 3 remake, and then 8 remake. Sorry, well, 8 now. The trailer has started with like looking like a completely different game, like not knowing what it's going to be, no like Capcom logo, nothing. And like as the like story of the trailer progresses, you might get clues, but like you're not really piecing it together because this trailer looked like a Silent Hill game or like a Castlevania game or something completely different. There's like werewolves and witches and like that's interesting. Okay. Usually Resident Evil is all about like zombies and viruses that take people's minds over and stuff, but werewolves now, cool.
Because why not? We didn't have enough problems as it is.
So, and there are heavy rumors that Konami was actually making games again and potentially making a Silent Hill and or a Castlevania game, so everyone had that in their head. I think Capcom kind of knew that going in. And then, like, at the very end of it, it just said Village. Like, oh, just Village. Okay. That's interesting. Maybe it is by Konami, but it's just a new IP. And then Resident Evil. Okay, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, like is that again? Like all those trickies.
I just love the idea of Resident Evil 7 being like going back to form of is just one house. Like it's just the first person, a guy in a house trying to deal with all the crap going on in this one house. And then by the end of that game, he kind of figures stuff out and has to like go, expand a little bit to do an entire village of people and kind of deal with the crap going in that village. I think that's a kind of decent escalation there. And the idea that all of the enemies and all like the people that you're fighting are essentially either magically enhanced or somehow some like virus enhanced werewolves and vampires and witches and whatnot, like in the forest, like around the village. I think that's a cool idea. Like even
creepy, definitely. Yeah. So I like it.
As long as they keep the more bioengineered aspect of it, like you can have werewolves, fine, but like as long as they keep it where it is still Umbrella actually like messing with genetic code like they always do and try to.
It doesn't get too fantasy. It sticks kind of more science fiction-y.
Yeah. I think it has a lot of potential. Although, how much do you know about Resident Evil, just in general?
Not a ton. My brother's a big fan. I don't know a ton, but enough.
Okay.
I guess.
So just know that the guy at the very end of this trailer, Chris Redfield, he's been around since Resident Evil 1. Every single time he shows back up, I think he was in 1, 5, 6, and now 8. Every single time he shows up, he looks way different. Like the first one, he was PS1 graphics, so he just looked kind of like a dude. PS5, Resi 5, he looked very muscular, very gruff, like with a huge gun, and everything. And then Resi 6 kind of towed him back a little to be more like spy-esque, and now he's like really wide. It's weird.
Maybe he's having a couple like midlife crisis with everything going on. He's like, no, I gotta get jacked.
Maybe
no,
they're
I
all
gotta
different get Chris's. Maybe they're clones
or
something.
That is also, maybe it's a code name. Maybe it's not a name.
Yeah, like
I don't know. Yeah, I guess. But even that's still kind of like,
yeah. But. And they ended this presentation with Horizon: The Forbidden West, which just looks gorgeous.
Yeah. And like it just.
Oh, go.
God, sorry.
You go.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, it just looks really cool. Like all this like mystical air. Yeah, it just looked like. I'm not even sure what kind of game. Like it just looks. There's so much going on in this game, and the colors even.
Yes.
And I'm colorblind, and I even was like, look at these colors. So like, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, oh, this is wild.
Mm.
Like, it looks just really like it's really beautiful. I like, the character. I forgot what her name is, the character or whatever, but she looks
Ayla?
really
Alo?
something
Aloy?
like that.
Aloy.
Something.
I think it's Aloy.
Sorry, something like that. I don't really
Yeah.
know, but I like the like arrow, like bow and arrow look, and kind of like it kind of almost looks kind of like I'm not even sure, like maybe Zelda-ish, but like not really, but like it just looks really cool. I don't know. I'm
It
excited to see what.
it looking Zelda-ish was probably by design because
Yeah.
when Horizon Zero Dawn came out back in 2017, it released weeks before Breath of the Wild.
Ah.
And Horizon Zero Dawn is a good game, but Breath of the Wild is better in literally every single way. And people just destroyed, like, after, when they played Horizon Zero Dawn, like, this is great. They loved it. But then when they got to play Zelda, it's like, and they played Zelda and then went back to Horizon. Oh, I can't climb that. Oh, I can't. Like, the water physics are way different. I can't shoot an arrow, run 100 meters, and find it. Like, just
That is so awesome.
yeah, just like the physics of Breath of the Wild, the fact that like, which law is it where matter cannot be created or destroyed?
Oh, the law of conservation of
Yeah,
mass.
like
So,
good job. like that's just all over the place in Zelda. Like if you just like I said, if you shoot an arrow over the horizon, if you walk in that direction completely straight, you will find it. It's insane. So in Horizon the Forbidden West, there were clear homages to criticisms of Zero Dawn with her, climbing a mountain, for instance. Like, you couldn't really do that, but in Zelda, you could climb literally anything, and that's like that's one of those fun parts of that game. Just climb on, sure.
I'll climb it.
And also, like, yeah, it is just so much more colorful now. I like the idea of essentially in the first game, these robots have essentially just kind of like taken over everything, and the people are just kind of trying to survive. But then in this game, it kind of looks like wildlife is trying to come back, but the robots are still kind of they're still kind of there and just kind of stopping stuff from really evolving in the way that it should. So and then like it's cool. I like it.
It looks awesome. Like, yeah, I'm excited to see how this go. I guess this is like PlayStation's like they're trying to make PlayStation Zelda, I guess. So like, and again, if they succeed, like not in every, but I mean, if it's like pretty great, like I mean, so far it looks pretty awesome. But like,
Yeah.
it kind of has like that kind of mixed with like a little bit of like Fallen Order, kind of like how it looks. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, like I said, we didn't go over every single game. Are there any games that you specifically
Those
remember
were
that?
no, that the main ones. I like Ratchet and Clank, Spider Man, obviously, and then yeah, those were like the two big ones for me.
Yeah, there were others. There were like a couple other games like Kena, Bridge of Spirits that looked like a Pixar movie. I want more games, like more new games to look like that, more stylized, which I think is kind of a motif of this entire presentation. I was fully expecting next gen to go hard on super realistic looking people because that's how PS4 was, and PS5 is going to look even better. But almost every single presentation was very stylized, very colorful, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, like yeah, colors especially. Like I noticed a lot of that.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, love. There were a couple of games that just kind of didn't show super well. Like the fact that this presentation was in 1080p, 30 frames per second, made Gran Turismo 7 look kind of meh. I don't know. Visually, it just looked fine. Which Gran Turismo games are usually the games that are like showpieces for any given PlayStation console. And since it was streamed in 1080p 30, you just couldn't really get the gravitas of what this looks like.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple other games like that. Even like Ratchet and Clank had a bit of stutter here and there because of the stream, but it was overall a good presentation.
Yeah.
Moving away from big presentations for a second, did you see there's a new Kingdom Hearts game coming out this year?
Yes.
Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memories.
I don't get it. I don't like they were so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the end. This is it. This is the fun. They were like so hard. They were trying to like make you believe that, but you just knew how the game was like. You were like, no, something. Like, no, there's no. It's and like this one looks Kyrie based, which I don't even like. What even is this?
It's a rhythm game. So like you're essentially playing through like infinite runner levels that are set to a famous song from the game, and like you hit enemies or like jump to the music. And the better you do, the better like your score gets up and better combos and stuff. But even though it is just a basic rhythm game, you know that there's gonna be some bonkers story that's gonna connect to some game 60 years from now. Like if you didn't play this game, you won't understand that.
Yep. Some like 2-minute cutscene is gonna be like, game. For the game that no one's gonna play is gonna be the justification for like Kingdom Hearts 4. It's like, oh, you didn't see this person blinked in this scene in that year? I missed everything. Like
this entire game takes place during the time of them blinking and like just
exactly. Yeah, no, like something like that would totally happen though. Like you say that jokingly, like like something like that would be like, oh, their heart was asleep while it's out. Like, how's your heart fall asleep? What does that even mean? Can you explain that to me, please? Because I don't get that. But again, I don't know. Like, I kind of like this. Sounds like something that would be a mini game in the game that I would like tolerate. But the whole game being like, the music of Kingdom Hearts is very good. I love it. It's my favorite video game music personally. But it's like a whole game of just kind of, because like there was like a rhythm-esque game level in Kingdom Hearts 2, which was just
the underwater one.
Yes, they were doing like the Atlantica level in Kingdom Hearts, which I don't know if this will be like this. It sounds like it'll be like this, which does not bode well. But like, I love Kingdom Hearts 2, but that is by far my least favorite level. It's not even close. So it's just like a whole game of this does not sound ideal at all. So
yeah,
there's that. But I mean, maybe I don't know.
$20 maybe.
See, you say that. Watch it be a full watch it. Like I from what I have seen about this game, I am not by any means sold. But I guess you never know.
Yes. I'm personally annoyed that this is the first Kingdom Hearts game to come to Switch. This one, not Dream Drop Distance that came to 3DS, not that ported up. None of the 0.5.
None of the actual the actual real games.
No.
Like, what is this?
Not even like Chain of Memories or something weird like no. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
There's a whole collection out there that's just on PS3. You can't just port over. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, no. Like, you
channel,
very easily could, but you
won't.
Yeah, I don't. This looks so weird. And they're trying to like make it the battles. Like they're trying to make it look like a fight, and really it's just Dance Revolutioning. Like, come on, man. Like,
there are boss fights, but it doesn't look good.
No, it looks really like it looks like a stupid mini game for one level that would be the worst level in the game, but the whole game's like that, and it's kind of just like, but why?
I don't know.
Like, really, why? Like, I guess it'll be like because you use these different buttons in sequence, it'll be like a fight, but like, but then you even see, like, there's gonna be some crazy story that is gonna, like, because even in this little thing, there's gonna be some story, some explanation, something that is gonna be like, okay, but now I need to know how it goes. But thankfully for the internet, I don't have to buy this game, and I'll just YouTube it when it comes out. So that's great.
So you still don't have the DLC, right?
No, because like I watched the entire DLC, and it's just the same. It's literally the last level over again. But this time you can play as different. Like, and I understand you can play as different characters, but the moveset is very limited. It's like 3 buttons, not even lying. And not that Kingdom Hearts had like the super, like, complicated moveset anyway, but it's like it is not worth a whole other game. And then and it doesn't make any sense. You don't learn anything new. And then like okay, you get the boss fights at the end, but one of the things about the boss fights in this game is like I didn't really like them that much. Mm-hmm. And then like I don't know. No, I didn't get the DLC. Yep. I thought I was. I'm sorry, too much. I really thought I was going to when it first came out, which I was like, oh yeah, this game's gonna be great, and it wasn't. And then
the DLC will fix it. It didn't.
It did not. The DLC made me more confused.
Maybe like, this rhythm game will answer some of your questions.
I hear that. And I'm choosing to ignore that. No, it won't. This is, I don't know. Like, at this point, they're just trying to milk it for money. Like, I get that. Like, it's a business, but, like, treat your properties with some respect. This is disrespectful. Like, that's fine.
Speaking of treating property with respect,
okay,
kind of. I'll work with it. EA is currently, I think tonight actually, having their like big stream revealing new games, but they went ahead and announced Star Wars Squadrons.
Yeah.
Okay. I was really, really hoping that this type of thing would end with the PS5 or like end this year. Like, so Star Wars Squadrons got leaked last Thursday. Then on Friday, EA was like, tune in on Monday for a new Star Wars announcement, and then just a couple hours later, like, yeah, it's Squadrons, it's Squadrons. So then on Monday, they had this live stream for a 2-minute CG cinematic trailer for Squadrons, and there was no gameplay. It was just a 2-minute trailer. No explanation, no dev team talking to you. It was just a trailer. Come back on Thursday for more information. Like, why?
Yeah, I don't know. And like, I don't want to say this, but like, it kind of has that like Battlefront 2 campaign vibe. Like, it looks like it's trying so hard to be interesting, but you're kind of just like, okay, and like, I don't know.
Speaking of Battlefront 2, maybe the actual gameplay portion of this will actually wow me, and maybe it'll actually change my mind on this. But as of right now, it kind of looks like this was a mode that was planned for Battlefront 2, which I don't think Battlefront 2 even has squadron fights at this point still.
I have no idea.
I've played some of it. I can't find a mode for that. Maybe I'm just looking in the wrong places, but I can't find it. It looks like this was the mode that was supposed to be added to Battlefront 2, but instead was taken out, maybe expanded a little bit to be sold back for $40.
Yep.
Which, granted, space combat, it's awesome in Star Wars. Rogue Squadron on the GameCube, fantastic game. The space battles in the old Battlefront 2, great.
And then these things, like,
about this one.
I am personally kind of just, it doesn't look, I don't know, because like, I think space battles are cool. Like, when I think of Star Wars, I think of lightsabers, the Force, and then space battles. And then when it comes to space battles, it's kind of like, this didn't feel that engaging. It was kind of just, all right, this is my team. Okay, this is my team. This is my team some more. This is my team some more. You know, it's kind of just like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't really there was nothing to really grab my attention. It was just kind of a thing, and I was just
Yeah,
like,
I
okay,
did
like,
like how they had actual characters in the trailer. Like there were some kind of basic NPCs, but they actually had Wedge Antilles, and I can never remember the green Twilight chick from
oh, what's her
Rebels.
name? Hera, I think is her
Yeah,
name. Yeah,
they had Hera
yeah,
in the background there. Like the fact that there are actual characters in this game means
that's
that they at least put a
big.
little effort in. That's kind of cool. Yeah.
Eh, okay, it's like okay,
It,
give you like a point for that, but
I don't love how it's set after episode 6 though. I don't know that it just like the Empire is just kind of still around. Like I know the Empire didn't
yeah,
fall immediately, but this isn't gonna
remember
explain. I don't know.
it feels kind of pointless to have like the waning forces of the Empire just kind of around.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel that too.
especially
But
since it is a 5v5 multiplayer game where one team can be the winning Empire. Like they're not supposed to win. Like
I mean,
if it was like set between 5 and 6, at least you can kind of argue like the Empire, like they're just struck back, like they're still around. This is like the
yeah,
peak of the Empire. Like they're supposed to win some battles here and there.
yeah, they're supposed. And I mean, they're good too. Like they're not. They're like. I mean, they're not just around. Like these are the best pilots
Mm,
too. But
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. I don't know. Like maybe like again, we only saw a small trailer. Like
Mm,
it could be something much bigger. It also could not be. But again, this is an EA Star Wars game. Aside from Jedi Fallen Order so far, their batting average hasn't been great. So
yeah. Battlefront 2 has gotten a lot better. It's still not the same level as the original Battlefront 2, but like it's still, from what I've played so far of it, it's it's fun. But there are just certain things that like make me feel like the original was just kind of better. Like just the movements feels a little. I don't know. Maybe it's because I am just so used to put over 200 hours in the original Battlefront 2. Movement just feels
potentially.
a lot different. The Jedi, even though their powers are more varied, they're not as fun. I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, they don't. I don't know. I'm like watching it. It never looks like super like oh yeah like I'm especially when you get like like no offense but like Ray and stuff like that. You're kind of just like okay like cool but
Also, I something I just loved about the old Battlefront 2 is that in almost every single map you could either win by getting the most command points or killing more people than your opponent.
hmm
Whereas here they split that into two different modes, which is fine, but like I personally adore games that have multiple different winning conditions. Like
right
if you're not the best at killing people, you can still a point and like have other
yeah it's
people like
yeah
you know.
and it creates multiple strategies and
Mm,
different styles of play. Some people are like, just kill everything you see. Some people are like, let's be strategic about this, force them over here, take their command post.
mm,
And like, because like that's how me and my brother always felt. Like I was always just kill everything. My brother was
yep.
the command post, which I realized was probably smarter because he always beat me. But
Well,
but yeah, it was just kind of because it's yeah, and that kind of feels like a real battle too. Like
yeah.
yes, I mean at the end of the day, whoever kills the most people, I guess, wins. But it's also like it's important to have certain positions in war and stuff like that. Like you see in like Clone Wars and stuff, where like we got to get to this point, or the rest of the thing isn't going to work out. So
Mm.
I don't know. But
Also, I really appreciated in the old Battlefront 2, depending on the planet you're on, you'll have a different hero character.
mm-hmm.
I like the idea of in this Battlefront 2, like as you play, you earn points to then spend on hero characters, which I think is cool. But it's the same like same 5 or 6 hero characters for every single
Yeah,
separatist, every single rebellion, every single republic mode. Whereas before, if you're on Megiddo, you play as Kidadi Mundi. If you're on Felucia, you play as Aayla Secura. Like
mm-hmm.
you play as Obi-Wan quite a few as well, but like there are a couple of times when you get to play as these other people you don't get to play as much, and like I think that's really cool with world building.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, and like, yeah, it kind of puts you feels like you're around the galaxy, you're like moving around the galaxy, kind of. Yeah.
Maybe they're having their press conference presentation thingy tonight. Maybe the gameplay they actually show will look good and actually be engaging.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Or guess we'll find out.
So, moving away from games entirely for just a second, there is actually some interesting Star Wars information to talk about since we're talking about Star Wars right now. First, the not so great one: Star Wars Celebration will not be returning until 2022.
Ooh.
Yeah, this year's got delayed. Not delayed. What's the one I went for? Canceled. And then I don't think next year's was planned at all. So there was like, we'll just not have it at all until 2022.
I mean, yeah, okay. Sad, but understandable.
It's honestly especially sad considering this would have been the Star Wars Celebration immediately following Rise of Skywalker. It would have been just interesting to see the vibes of the people there. I don't know, like they could have had a huge celebration of the entire saga, like every living person who's ever been in the saga, like up on stage all together. Like Mark Hamill finally could have met Natalie Portman. Like that could have been fun. Like I don't know, because like he, because she's his mom in the movies, and he's like, I want to meet her at some point. I just haven't. So that could have been cool, but also just seeing how the fans just kind of like, is there more fever for these kind of conventions now that the saga is over, or is there less because it ended?
I mean, it's still Star Wars though.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna let not great movie. You're not gonna let that destroy your love of Star Wars, and especially since we have other Star Wars things going on. Because maybe the movies aren't great, but it's okay. Mandalorian, Clone Wars, other stuff, even Jedi Fallen Order. Like we got other Star Wars stuff that's, it's not everything in Star Wars is bad. And I think that's good to have multiple mediums going on at the same time. But I kind of see it. But yeah, maybe they are using this as a time to kind of, because like Star Wars Celebration is kind of more movie oriented than anything else.
I mean, I guess have like trailers for Clone Wars or Jedi Fallen Order or Mandalorian. Like, they have new information there for other Star Wars stuff. But you're right. Like as far as it is mostly movie stuff. Yeah.
Right. Which I mean, they're the most popular. It makes sense. But yeah, maybe just to kind of get, not that the movie, the movies have definitely been, in the word, divisive. People have been split on them. Some people love.
That's a word, yes.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of them. I'm not gonna over here and talk bad about Star Wars. It's still Star Wars, even though some of the movies are better than others. But anyway, it's like, give it some time, and maybe set up their new universe maybe in that time. Because I mean, when is this new High Republic trilogy supposed to be going on?
We're not sure.
Okay, just TBD.
It's
Okay,
in development.
probably. Yeah, but I mean, maybe they'll use that to like be the official launch or something. Who knows? Yeah. I mean, we have no idea. Maybe it'll just be a name of something. Like who knows? But like, yeah, I mean, it's not like Star Wars is gonna like disappear. It's Star Wars. People are gonna like. There could be no Star Wars concept for 10 years. You still have people, May the 4th, rolling out, going crazy. So,
but there will be at least one Star Wars project coming that we know, that at least rumored, within the next 10 years, because there is a rumored Clone Wars spin-off / sequel series thing that is rumored to have the Bad Batch as the main characters.
Ooh. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, kind of like a series, like a new aspect of a clone. Well, that'd be interesting to like have a whole series based on them, but still kind of in that Clone Wars atmosphere. Because I feel like how they did it would have to be interesting. Because like I would be personally thinking, okay, well, when's Anakin gonna show up? When's whoever gonna show? Like, is this gonna? Do we know like timeline or anything about this, or like?
My guess is that essentially the Bad Batch arc was like a backdoor pilot, and
Yeah.
then the show essentially starts maybe a couple of episodes of just them doing stuff, and then Order 66 happens, like
Mm.
third episode in, and then they like for the rest of the season they have to like either deal, because I have a feeling at least Echo, his chip is broken, like his is not working.
Yeah.
Maybe the others are so defective that or
That's what I was
just
thinking too.
doesn't work for them. So they have to deal with like a very interesting side of the fall of the Republic, where like they were working for the Republic, but now the Republic is evil. They're not controlled by the evil side now, but like, are they still loyal? Were they ever actually loyal? Like Echo, does Echo know that Rex is still alive? Like there could be many different aspects.
Yeah, there's so much going on. I could hear about what happened to the 501st and all this stuff. Like, who knows? And maybe they'll just go to like, yeah, go around the galaxy, try to figure out what's going on, try to figure out what to support. Maybe they'll see the Empire and like they'll be like, those are not clones. Like, you know, like, you know, something like that. Like, who knows? That'd be
These aren't even regs. Like, what is this?
Yeah. Like, I thought regs were bad enough, but this.
I don't think I have mixed feelings about the entire show being focused entirely on that group of clones.
Yeah.
That could take 4 episodes, but I don't know if
a whole show I would not be huge on.
like 2 seasons max, maybe, before they start shaking it up a bit. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, but like, still, what would they do with that? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like, what are they gonna do? Like, they can't do anything like huge per se, because it's not like. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
I mean, I'm sure we'll know soon enough. I have a feeling that this show is at least going to be pitched at a Star Wars Celebration this year, like the first like teaser or the name of it or something.
Yeah.
So we'll probably get more information before too long. Yeah, there at least is some Star Wars stuff to potentially look forward to within next couple of years. So the last bit of news, going back to games, is there was a Pokemon Direct yesterday, and this one was pretty interesting. So I don't really understand why the Pokemon Company keeps doing this. They keep, maybe I kind of do, but like every single time there's a Pokemon specific presentation of any kind, they always have like one huge project that they announce or one big like thing that they announce, but then before that big announcement they have like 2 things that are trash. Like they started this presentation with a game called Pokemon Smile. It's a mobile game
Oh boy.
that helps kids brush their teeth.
No, it is not.
It is.
This is real?
It's real.
Okay, yeah, okay. So I felt bad about that Kingdom Hearts game. I feel a little bit better now.
It is a kid's game. Like
I know, but still, I mean, no, I'm not. Pokemon Smile. Are you serious?
yeah,
Oh, it's real. Oh my gosh.
you think I can make that up?
I
You
know,
think
but I
dreamt
just, I don't, no, but just, I mean, like, why brushing teeth? How is that? I don't. Do they like level up every time they brush their teeth or something?
I don't know.
Do they learn floss? Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm so lost here. Like,
I don't know. And they started this presentation, but like at least sandwich that in the middle. Don't start with that. Like,
or yeah, you kind of just throw that, or yeah, like maybe just like kind of back of the door, throw that in. Like that sounds really.
I mean, I know why they announce stuff like this because they already have a captive audience.
Yeah.
But no, the core audience of Pokemon fans who are getting up at 9 a.m. or 6 a.m. if you're on the West Coast to watch a presentation like this are not kids. I don't even know if they're parents of kids who would be interested in this.
Probably not.
So even though you have a captive audience and you are getting the word that this game exists out there, I don't know if it's the right crowd for that.
So I think it's safe to say you won't be going after
I
Pokemon.
think I know how to brush my teeth well enough. It's fine.
I mean, so Pikachu could teach you something new. You never know.
You never know. But there was like one other weird presentation that I don't even remember. I think it was like Pokemon Cafe, where like you work at like a little coffee shop. I don't remember what the gameplay was like. It was another mobile / Switch game. But
Or is it like one of those like get their order right kind of game, or like?
I don't remember. I honestly
Okay.
don't. Like, yeah, I can't remember anything about it. I just remember the Pokemon Smile was first, and then that was called Pokemon Cafe. I don't remember what the actual premise of it was. But I do remember that the first major announcement, really the only major announcement, but like the thing that people actually woke up for, was a new Pokemon Snap game. Did you ever play Pokemon Snap?
Hey, what?
Did you ever play Pokemon Snap?
I've never played it. No.
Okay. Essentially, back in the N64, there was the game called Pokemon Snap, and you play as this guy who Professor Oak has asked if he can like take pictures of Pokemon in their natural environment. So it's like essentially an on-rails shooter, but like you have a camera, and
Right.
you take pictures of Pokemon, like they're just like playing with each other. And it seems like it can actually be pretty boring, but actually you also have these like things you can throw at Pokemon to like make them like distracted, or like make them group up with another group of Pokemon. To like, let's say you throw this ball at a Pikachu, he kind of runs and like he kind of follows you to a bigger group of Pikachu, and that big group of Pikachu gets you more points as you take a picture. On top of that, you could also like throw these things at Pokemon to like knock them over, or like just like, for one example, there's one thing where you can knock a Charmander into a pool of lava and it sprouts into a Charizard, and that makes a lot of points. Or there's like in like the volcano level, there's this big egg kind of towards the end of it. If you hit it with enough of these balls, it'll sprout into a Moltres, and then so there's like many different interactive elements with like in this, even to the point where if you do certain things, you get like an alternate exit, like that'll get you even more points. Like it, and if you get all the alternate exits, you can then have a chance to find a Mew. Like it's actually pretty intense.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. So 21 years later, they finally people have been claiming for a new Pokemon Snap game for years. The Wii U was perfect for it. Like, you have your gamepad.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
As a camera, like that's what it was made for. And maybe the Switch will be able to do that too. But like the gamepad, like that's what it was for.
Yeah,
and they
like
just
not as much.
I don't know. But they finally announced a new Pokemon Snap game, literally called New Pokemon Snap.
I mean, like not beating around the bush at least.
Yeah, it's the new one. Nintendo loves the word new. The new 3DS, the new Super Mario Bros. Series. Like, it's kind of their thing, I guess. I don't know. But like, that's exciting. Like, they finally, after 20 years, finally give something that Pokemon fans have been wanting, have been asking for the constantly. Like, every single time there's a new Pokemon event of any kind, people demand Pokemon Snap. We never get it, but we have it now. It's coming. I think they said it was coming this year. So
Nice.
fantastic. Also, at the end of that presentation, the Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC finally came out, and I spent the entire day yesterday playing that. Yeah, that's why I had to move that to today. Just saying. In case you're wondering. So the presentation ended at about 9:15. I got it downloaded at 9:30. I played it straight through lunch. I played until 2:30, and I was like, crap. I had a schedule for today at 2. And I messaged you saying, "Hey, can we schedule it to later?" And you said, "Sure." So like, then I kept playing for 5 more hours. Like,
She's like, sweet. Yo.
I
Hey,
got a thing.
hey, it's fun. If it's fun, it's fun. Like no shame at all.
Yeah, like I'm not the hottest on Pokemon Sword and Shield. I think they're very fun games. They're not great, but they're fun. And this DLC is just kind of an extension of that, but I think it's even a little better. Essentially, you go to this brand new island. The island is just completely filled with brand new like not new, but like new to Sword and Shield. Since Sword and Shield removed quite a couple from the Pokédex, they added like a lot of them back into this game, this DLC. You have a brand new rival, either a poison rival or a psychic rival, depending on which game you get. And essentially, you're kind of working at this dojo, and you have to do these different trials to kind of gain the master's trust and like kind of compete with your rival there. And after you complete all the different trials, the master will give you a Pokemon called Cubfu, and it's like this little teddy bear looking thing. It's adorable. And you like go through a little trial with him, and then after he's ready to like finally compete in the grand trial, you fight up. You can either fight up the Tower of Darkness or the Tower of Water, and at the top of that, you then fight the master again with his Cubfu. And when you beat him, you can then evolve your Cubfu into either a dark or a water type Pokemon. They're both called Urshifu, but like one is fighting dark, one is fighting water, and it's just a fun little progression system that's just like really makes use of the entire island that you're exploring. Like every single trial makes you explore a different part of the island, just kind of get you acquainted with what it looks like. And there, it's entirely, it's essentially the entire island is like the wild area in Sword and Shield, where you can turn the camera 360 degrees with their Pokemon everywhere. Like it's just fun. Yeah.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, especially like the trial thing. I feel like that's kind of a new thing. I don't know. At least new for me. I've never seen it or anything like that.
I can't think of any other time in Pokemon where you literally where a trial type thing in Pokemon is like tailored specifically for a single Pokemon. Like in Pokemon Sun and Moon, instead of gym leaders, they essentially had these trials that you have to go through and then fight a strong Pokemon at the end. But I don't think there's ever been a time in like a main series Pokemon game where you literally had a Pokemon that you went through a trial as like essentially as the partner Pokemon. I think that was just really cool. And then at the end of that trial, it evolves and just.
That's pretty sick.
Also, another wrinkle in this is that essentially the way it's set up, the Pokemon and the trainers on this island will scale based on where you are in the current story. If you haven't even beaten a single gym leader yet, you can still go to this island, but they'll only be on like level 10. And then as you progress, after you beat the champion, everything will be on level 60 or higher.
Nice.
Yeah. So you can just go there immediately, get these new Pokemon that you maybe want to actually use in your journey, and then like come back to this island periodically when you feel like you're ready to keep going with the trial. And by the end of it, it wants you to be at least level 70. So like part of it, all the Cubfu tower stuff, that's like in the game stuff. But you can do most of it just kind of at your leisure, and it's.
Yeah, and like being able to get to the island and get the Pokemon is still huge, regardless of when you can do it. Because like, if you really want something there, or like you just need a different type or something, yeah, awesome.
So yeah, assuming that I can like load a new save and still keep the DLC, because I'm not sure if the DLC is locked to a specific Switch or if it's to a specific profile. I think it's to a specific profile, but I'm not entirely sure. If it is to a Switch, at some point, kind of soon, I'm gonna after the second DLC is out in November, I'm probably gonna like restart a new save file and like just kind of use completely Pokemon to try to use Pokemon I've never used before with on those islands. So
Sounds cool. Yeah.
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 I'm not sure so far. I'm not sure if it's worth $30 for both of them yet. The second one hasn't come out yet, but I had a lot of fun. I spent like 8 hours yesterday just knocking around that. But one of those things where like I got 8 hours of it, but if someone was just blowing through it, it would probably take like a little over an hour. Like if they knew what they were doing and they like already had everyone at level 100 and just kind of
Yeah, they weren't messing around. They were just going through it. Yeah.
Because I caught literally everything I found just to try to complete. Because like I said, Sword and Shield, I tried to complete the Pokedex to the best of my ability. So I caught pretty much every newer Pokemon I could find. So yeah, I got about 8 hours, but some people who were just blowing through it, who did it in like less than an hour, like that wasn't worth $30. Like, hey, you didn't have fun. Like I don't know. It was just fun going into the water and just like seeing a Sharpedo just like barreling at you. The shark thing that Team Aqua uses in Sapphire is barreling at you and like attacking you.
Yeah, I forgot because like you can like see them and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm so glad they carried that over from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Yes, 100%. Like that, I remember. Like I was playing that, I was in awe just seeing Pokemon just walking around, and you can dodge them if you want, and be like, okay, I already got a bazillion. I've already got a bazillion these. I already got that, and then it's like, oh, is that like it's so, I don't know. It feels like realistic. Like. Oh, man, that's a really good attribute. I like that a lot.
Yeah. I kind of hope that the second DLC introduces a few more brand new Pokemon, because this one only introduced Galarian Slowbro and then Kubfu and Urshifu. There were no other brand new or even regional forms. I hope they go a little harder on the second one, but if they don't, it's whatever. But at the very, very end of this presentation, I kind of forgot about this until just now, they actually announced that there's going to be another Pokemon presentation next Wednesday.
Ooh.
I am terrified of what that's going to be. I'm not even excited. I'm kind of scared that it's going to be either like Sword and Shield 2 or like some other like Sinnoh remake or like Let's Go Johto, but like it's going to release this year when like we already have the DLC and Snap. Like we don't need that yet, but maybe it's going to be something completely brand new. I can't help
maybe. I mean, is more content really a bad thing?
No, but Game Freak isn't exactly. I don't know. I don't necessarily trust that they have self-control when it comes to stuff that like they think fans want, if that makes sense. Like they knew that fans wanted they knew that fans wanted to go back to Kanto. So like you're going back to Kanto in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Like it wasn't exactly the way fans wanted it, and like it was a fun game, but like I would have been more fun if I could have just actually played it how I didn't have to catch a Pokemon. I don't know. I'm just kind of terrified that if they do a Let's Go Johto, it's not going to be as high effort, even as high effort as Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, where they like right now I'm satisfied with the amount of Pokemon we're getting this year. Hopefully whatever it is they announce, it'll be either like a spin-off or something that's coming next year. So okay. So time to move on to Nerd Clash. Since we talked about the Spider-Man Miles Morales PS5 game coming, makes sense to do Miles Morales versus Nightwing.
I'm going to go ahead and pull up the Miles Morales powers list.
See, he can turn invisible. He has the zappy stuff. Obviously, general super strength, speed, agility.
Yeah. Like the essential Spider-Man abilities plus a few extras just because. Let's see. Powers and abilities. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so apparently his spider sense is slightly weaker than the general Peter Parker. It only
Okay.
warns him of like immediate, like again, not that it really matters.
Mm,
That's just something I didn't know. But
mm,
you know how like sometimes like Spider-Man will warn him about something that like doesn't really make sense or something like that. Like his
yeah.
is only like this is gonna hit you,
Which,
which
yeah.
yeah, which and this fight I don't think it would really matter because I
Mm.
mean I feel like anything would still be on the table. But yeah, I mean okay, so let's look at this in terms of
So, Nightwing, I think, in most contexts, at his prime, even Batman compliments him, saying like, "You're a better Batman than I am."
yeah.
I don't know if he's just being humble, but he's at least
I
that's
mean, it's
on record him
Batman,
saying
so
that.
what do you think? But like, yeah, so like a god tier level of fighting as far as a human goes.
Mm. So I like, and Nightwing also has, you know, almost if not all of the same items and gadgets that Batman has at his disposal outside of the cape,
Right.
but like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, overrated. But
Mm.
like, even the best agility isn't like spider agility, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
and I know it's like plot armor, but like still.
because I honestly don't know where I stand on whether or not Batman could beat Spider-Man, like Peter Parker Spider-Man. Mainly because Batman has a lot of plot armor that like Spider-Man doesn't really need because he is super powered.
Yeah.
But Batman is still Batman, so
Right.
like at his prime, Spider-Man would probably win because he is way more experienced, not more experienced than Batman, but he's like you know
He knows enough,
yeah
and
he
he's
knows a
been
lot.
around.
He's
But then again,
very actually very strong.
yeah, incredibly strong.
His webbing can stop the Kingpin from breaking it apart, which Kingpin is also very strong. Like
Yeah, which Kingpin's stronger than Batman,
yeah,
definitely. But still, like, see, the whole thing is like the like mental aspect of it. It's like how what they, because I mean that's the whole thing about Batman, or in this case Nightwing. It's like if you outthink your opponent, the powers aren't that important. But it's
yeah,
like, how would you?
and
Especially with Spider Sense, it's like a kind of the
yeah,
element of surprise is kind of thrown out.
because Peter Parker is very intelligent,
Oh
and the
yeah,
Spider Sense just kind of enhances that even further. And Miles isn't dumb, but like I don't think he's on the same level as Peter as far as intelligence
right,
goes. But Nightwing, I like, oh,
pretty close.
he's pretty close to Batman as far as like intellect and detective skills go.
Yeah, so he
But
has
that
that advantage.
invisibility and Venom touch, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Venom touchdown. I mean, invisibility. I feel like is one of those things that, especially for like a Nightwing or Batman's character, I feel like that's kind of
Irrelevant.
not irrelevant, but not as effective as it would be. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because it's like if you're not a master of stealth, invisibility you can still be seen if you're
Mm-hmm.
invisible. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I guess especially if someone like Bat Nightwing is like notice like, oh, but that that moved over there, so it means he's by here now. I'm gonna throw this, and then who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But but still, I mean, between like how strong webs are, how fast you just naturally faster he's going to be.
Yeah. Because Nightwing can be as agile, as fast, as strong as any human has ever been.
Still,
I think Miles in general at his prime is considered stronger in most aspects than Spider-Man. I think he's like literally a better Spider-Man because his spider came from a different dimension, so it just kind of
yeah,
messed
just
with his
extra
biology.
boost because why not?
Yeah. So even if Batman could beat regular Spider-Man, I honestly don't know if Nightwing like physically could beat Miles.
Probably. Yeah, probably not, because as much as I love Nightwing, Nightwing is my dude. But like, yeah, I don't think, because it's a matter of not only like enhanced abilities that Spider-Man already has, but also it's like limitations as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Just any person, even the best person, is still a person
Yeah.
versus just like crazy stuff.
This is the Spider-Man. Yeah.
Right. But maybe he'll outsmart. But that's the thing. I feel like you try to outsmart him, but not being aware of what he can do makes it a lot harder. Just, like if it's the first time they fight, that like ability to outsmart someone is greatly
Mm-hmm.
impaired due to not knowing
Yeah.
what they're
Like
capable of.
I have no doubt that Nightwing would have the gadgets and ability to either outthink or just kind of not be affected by both Venom Touch and uh, invisibility. Get something in his suit or like some, I don't know, you figure it out. Like his suit's all rubber, so I don't know if it would affect him. But like physically and just agility speaking, I think Miles would definitely have him on that.
And that's probably what it would end up coming down to, because gadgets can only do so much before you have to figure things out.
Okay. So, is there anything else we didn't touch on that you want to bring up?
Not that I can think of, no.
Okay. And with that, we'll see you all next time.
Take care, guys.